Hello, my dear friends, and welcome back to Dream Room, the cozy place where small homes, quiet corners, natural materials, and simple outdoor ideas come together to make everyday life feel softer, calmer, and more beautiful. Let me ask you something. Have you ever stepped outside with your morning coffee, looked across your little front lawn, the narrow strip beside your walkway, the patch of grass near your patio chair, or the green view outside your bedroom or home office window, and wondered, why does this still look tired after everything I've done? Maybe you have watered it faithfully. Maybe you have mowed it every weekend. Maybe you have bought fertilizer, pulled weeds by hand, tried a new sprinkler, or followed advice from a neighbor who seemed to know what they were doing. And yet your warm season grass still looks thin, spongy, yellow, patchy, or weak. If that sounds familiar, please don't feel discouraged. Many homeowners, especially those who care deeply about keeping their home beautiful, are not ruining their lawns because they are careless. Very often, they are hurting their grass because they are following advice that sounds right, but was never meant for Bermuda, Zoysia, St. Augustine, or other warm season lawns. And for those of you who love simple decorating, peaceful garden corners, small patios, natural textures, easy home projects, and beautiful outdoor spaces that do not require complicated work, this lesson matters more than you may think. Because a lawn is not just grass, it is the soft green frame around your home. It is what you see from your porch, your bathroom window, your bedroom, your garden chair, and your quiet afternoon place. Today, we are going to walk through the 10 mistakes that are quietly destroying warm season grass, and more importantly, how to stop them. Before we begin, if you enjoy calm, practical home and garden ideas, please subscribe to Dream Room and stay with me until the end. 1. Treating warm season grass like a cool season lawn. The first mistake begins long before you touch the mower, the hose, or the fertilizer bag. It begins with the way we think about grass. Many homeowners look at a green lawn and assume all grass wants the same care. So they hear one piece of advice from a neighbor, another tip from a garden center, and maybe something from a video made for a completely different climate. Then they bring it home and apply it to their own yard. And that is where warm season grass quietly starts to suffer. Bermuda, Zoysia, St. Augustine, and Centipede are not like the cool season lawns many people grew up seeing in magazines or northern neighborhoods. They love heat. They wake up later in spring. They spread sideways across the soil. Their strength is not just in tall green blades, but in the runners, roots, and dense living mat that slowly fills the ground. So when you treat them like fescue or ryegrass, you may be giving them care that feels generous, but works against their nature. You may mow them too high because you think taller always means healthier. You may water them every day because you think green means thirsty. You may fertilize too early because spring has arrived on the calendar, even though the soil has not truly warmed yet. For those of you with a small front lawn, a narrow side yard, a patio border, or a little green view outside your home office window, this matters deeply. You do not need a huge estate to make this mistake. Even a tiny patch of grass can struggle when it receives the wrong kind of care. The first step is simple. Know your grass, then care for it according to the way it naturally grows. Once you make that shift, every decision becomes clearer. 2. Mowing too high and making the lawn thin and spongy. Now let's talk about a mistake that looks harmless at first, because it comes from a very reasonable idea. Many people believe taller grass must be healthier grass. And for some lawns, especially cool season lawns, that can be true. But with warm season grasses like Bermuda and Zoysia, mowing too high can slowly weaken the entire lawn. These grasses are not meant to simply grow upward like a soft meadow. Their real strength comes from spreading sideways, filling empty spaces, and building a tight green carpet close to the soil. When you allow the grass to stay too tall for too long, the upper blades begin shading the lower growth. Sunlight cannot reach the runners near the ground. The grass becomes soft, thin, and spongy instead of firm and dense. You may notice this most clearly when you walk across the lawn. It may feel puffy under your feet, almost like stepping on an old cushion. From a distance, it might still look green, but underneath, the lawn is losing strength. Weeds begin finding little openings. The grass struggles to thicken, and the more you try to protect it by leaving it tall, the weaker it may become. This is especially important if your lawn is part of your home's beauty, the strip beside your walkway, the small green area near your patio chair, or the view outside your bedroom or home office window. That lawn is not just something to cut. It is part of the atmosphere of your home. So during the active growing season, mow warm season grass lower and more consistently. You are not hurting it. You are encouraging it to spread, tighten, and become the calm green frame your outdoor space deserves. 3. Watering every day and creating shallow roots. The next mistake is one of the most common because it feels like an act of care. when the summer sun becomes strong, when the grass looks a little dull in the afternoon, or when a few dry patches appear near the walkway or patio, many homeowners immediately reach for the hose. And I understand why. When you love your home, when you want your front yard, your small garden corner, or the view outside your bedroom window to feel fresh and welcoming, watering feels like the kindest thing to do. But warm season grass can be weakened by too much shallow attention. When you water every day, especially for only a short time, the moisture stays close to the surface. The grass learns that it does not need to send its roots deep into the soil. Instead of building a strong underground foundation, it keeps its roots near the top, where the soil dries out quickly and heat stress hits first. Then one very hot week arrives, and suddenly the lawn struggles. The grass may turn pale, fold slightly, or develop dry-looking areas, even though you have been watering faithfully. The problem is not always a lack of water. Sometimes the problem is that the roots were never trained to search deeper for it. Warm season grasses like Bermuda and Zoysia are naturally built for heat, but they need deeper roots to show that strength. A better rhythm is to water less often, but more deeply, allowing moisture to reach down into the root zone. For a small lawn beside a porch, a narrow strip near a fence, or a quiet patch outside a home office, this simple change can make the grass stronger, calmer, and more resilient through summer. 4. Watering in the evening and inviting fungus now. Let's stay with watering for one more moment, because it is not only how often you water that matters, it is also when you water. Many homeowners water in the evening for a very understandable reason. The day is busy, the sun is hot, there may be errands, work, family, cooking, cleaning, and all the little routines that fill a home. So after dinner, when the air feels cooler and the yard becomes quiet, it seems like the perfect time to turn on the sprinkler. But for warm season grass, evening watering can create trouble while you sleep. When grass blades stay wet through the night, moisture sits on the surface for many hours. In a dense lawn, especially zoysia, or in a shaded corner near a fence, under a tree, beside a patio wall, or along a narrow side yard with poor airflow, that dampness can become an open invitation for fungal problems. At first, it may look like a few dull patches. Then the patches may spread. The lawn that once framed your porch, your garden bench, or your bedroom window with a soft green view begins to look tired and uneven. And the frustrating part is that you may think you are helping by watering more, when the real problem is the timing. The better rhythm is early morning. Water before the heat of the day rises, so moisture can move down into the soil where the roots need it. Then, as the sun comes up, the grass blades have time to dry. This small change can make your lawn feel cleaner, healthier, and more balanced. It is one of those quiet habits that protects the beauty of the whole outdoor space. 5. Fertilizing at the wrong time of year. Now let's talk about fertilizer, because this is where many caring homeowners accidentally push their warm season grass in the wrong direction. It is easy to believe that if a lawn looks weak, yellow, or slow to wake up, it must need food right away. So in early spring, when the garden centers are full of bright bags and the weather begins to feel pleasant again, many people spread fertilizer before the grass is truly ready. But warm season grass does not follow the calendar as much as it follows the soil. Bermuda, Zoysia, St. Augustine, and similar grasses need real warmth before they can actively use nutrients. If you feed them too early, while the roots are still sleepy, the grass may not benefit much at all. Instead, the weeds may take advantage first. Then, at the other end of the season, there is another mistake: applying too much nitrogen too late. Late nitrogen can push soft new green growth right before cooler weather arrives. It may look beautiful for a short moment, but that tender growth is not prepared for cold stress. For those of you who love a neat home landscape, a calm patio view, or a soft green lawn outside your bedroom or home office window, fertilizer should feel like support, not pressure. The goal is not to force the lawn to perform when it is not ready. The goal is to feed it when it is actively growing and able to use what you give it. Remember this simple idea: fertilizer works best when it matches the season of the grass. Feed warm season lawns when they are awake, growing, and strong. Stop pushing them when they need to prepare for rest. 6. Ignoring thatch until the lawn cannot breathe. Now we come to a hidden problem that many homeowners do not notice until the lawn begins to feel strange under their feet. That problem is thatch. Warm season grasses naturally create runners, stems, and organic material close to the soil surface. A small amount of this layer is normal. It can even protect the crown of the grass. But when thatch becomes too thick, it turns into a quiet barrier between the green blades above and the living soil below. You may still see green from a distance. From the porch, the patio chair, or the window of your home office, the lawn may look acceptable. But when you walk across it, it may feel soft, springy, or spongy, almost like stepping on an old cushion. That is often a sign that the grass is no longer connecting properly with the soil. And once that happens, everything becomes harder. Water may not soak down where the roots need it. Fertilizer may sit trapped near the surface. Air cannot move as freely through the soil line. The lawn may stay damp in the wrong places and dry in the wrong places at the same time. For people who love a clean, peaceful outdoor space, this can be frustrating. You may be caring for your lawn faithfully, but the roots are not receiving the care because the thatch layer is blocking it. This is why warm season lawns sometimes need dethatching, verticutting, or careful raking. The purpose is not to make the yard look rough. The purpose is to open the lawn again so water, air, and nutrients can reach the place where real strength begins, the root zone. 7. Using the wrong weed killer on the wrong grass. Now let's talk about one of the fastest ways a healthy warm season lawn can be damaged, using the wrong weed killer. This mistake usually does not happen because someone is careless. It happens because the front of the bottle looks simple. It may say it kills crabgrass, broadleaf weeds, clover, or unwanted growth. And when a homeowner sees weeds creeping into the lawn beside the walkway, around the patio, near the garden bed, or in the little green strip outside the front door, it is natural to want a quick solution. But with warm season grass, the label matters more than the promise. A product that is safe for one type of grass may injure another. Something that works well on a cool season lawn may stress Bermuda, Zoysia, St. Augustine, or Centipede. And even among warm season grasses, not every herbicide is safe for every lawn. This is why identifying your grass comes before spraying your weeds. If you do not know what you are growing, you may accidentally treat your lawn like the wrong plant. Timing matters too. Some products are designed to stop weeds before they appear. Once the weeds are already growing and visible, that window may have passed. Other products can burn or weaken grass if they are applied during hot weather or when the lawn is already stressed. For anyone who loves a tidy outdoor space, this is an important lesson. A few weeds can be annoying, but a damaged lawn can take much longer to repair. So before you spray, slow down. Know your grass type. Read the label carefully, and treat the lawn with the same patience you would give any beautiful part of your home. 8. Trying to grow grass where there is too much shade. The final mistake may be the hardest one to accept because it asks us to stop fighting the space and start listening to it. Sometimes the problem is not your mower. It is not your watering schedule. It is not the fertilizer, the soil test, or the weed control. Sometimes the problem is simply shade. Warm season grasses need sunlight to stay strong. Bermuda especially loves open, bright, direct sun. When trees grow larger, fences cast longer shadows, or a side yard receives only a few hours of light, the grass may slowly begin to thin. At first, you may notice a weak patch near the tree, beside the house, along the fence, or behind the patio. Then season after season, that patch spreads. Many homeowners respond by trying harder. They water more, they fertilize more, they buy seed, they rake, spray, and worry. But if the grass does not have enough light, no amount of effort can make it perform like it would in full sun. And this is where lawn care becomes design. For those of you who love peaceful home spaces, small garden corners, natural textures, and cozy views from the bedroom, bathroom, patio, or home office window, this can actually become an opportunity. A shady place does not have to be a failed lawn. It can become a quiet planting bed, a soft mulch path, a stepping stone walkway, a hosta corner, a fern border, a liriope edge, or a calm sitting spot beneath the trees. A beautiful yard does not always mean grass everywhere. Sometimes the most elegant decision is knowing where grass belongs and where another kind of beauty is waiting to take its place. Conclusion: work with the grass, not against its summary words. Warm season lawn, small yard, natural care, peaceful outdoor space. So, my dear friends, if your warm season grass has been struggling, I hope today's lesson helps you look at your lawn with a little more kindness and a little more understanding. A tired lawn does not always mean you have neglected it. Sometimes it means you have cared too much in the wrong direction. You may have watered every evening because you wanted to help. You may have mowed high because you thought taller grass was safer. You may have fertilized early because spring made you excited to begin again. You may have fought weeds, shade, and dry patches with every product you could find. But warm season grass has its own rhythm. It wants sunlight. It wants the right mowing height. It wants deep roots, not daily shallow watering. It wants food when it is awake and growing, not when the soil is still cool or the season is ending. It wants air, healthy soil contact, and enough space to spread naturally. And remember, your outdoor space does not need to be perfect to be beautiful. A small lawn beside the walkway, a quiet patch near the patio, a green view outside your bedroom window, or a shaded corner beside your home office can all become part of a softer, calmer home. Sometimes the answer is better lawn care. Sometimes the answer is redesigning the space with mulch, stepping stones, ground covers, or shade-loving plants. The real goal is not to force every inch of your yard to behave the same. The goal is to create a home landscape that feels peaceful, practical, and alive. If you have warm season grass, tell me in the comments what you are growing: Bermuda, Zoysia, St. Augustine, Centipede, or something else. And if you have one problem spot in your yard, share it below. Your question may help someone else too. Thank you for spending time with me here at Dream Room. If you enjoyed gentle, practical ideas for your home, garden, and small outdoor spaces, please follow the channel, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.